Hey guys, it's Alex from TECHAERIS.com. I am back with another video and a different kind of setup for you guys. Hopefully that will work a little bit better than what I've been doing. Still very limited in space here, but I think with this new camera setup here, which I am using my iPhone for this right here, it will be a little bit better to be able to showcase product to you on my desk. I know you can see my monitor here, but just ignore that. Hopefully it'll work out. Anyway, this video, I wanted to do a quick video. I always say that. They end up being like 20 minutes, but whatever. This video is going to go over some of these laptops that I've been reviewing for the past few months. I just finished my 15-inch Microsoft Surface Laptop 7 review. I will link that down below. But I've done several videos on several different laptops, unboxings and overviews, and several of these laptops I've done the reviews on already, and I wanted to give some opinions and some feedback on what laptops I liked, and kind of just go over each one of these that I have here to my left, and just kind of talk about them. So I was going to start with the Microsoft, which I just did, but which I just finished the review on, but we're gonna save that one. We're gonna save that one. I'm gonna start with the Dell XPS, and I'm gonna find that I'm gonna wipe these down every once in a while because they get dust on them. This is the Dell XPS Snapdragon X Elite laptop, which is pretty much the same deal as the regular XPS 13. This is what this is, a 13-inch. There's no difference in this from the Intel XPS line other than the Snapdragon X Elite. To be honest with you, I love Dell XPS line, and this new keyboard is pretty cool. It's not as nice as some of the other keyboards that I've used, but the design on these XPS is fantastic. I like the way they look. They are very nice. They're very sharp, and this one I haven't touched in a while, and it's juiced down, so this one will not power up for me. But anyway, I like the trackpad on this. It has a haptic trackpad, good trackpad. The only problem that some people have had is that there's no indication of where the trackpad ends and begins. It's generally between here. Between the Alt and the Alt is where you're going to find your touch sensitivity, right in here. But this doesn't bother me. I don't mind this at all. Some people don't like it. I don't mind it. It's a nice laptop. I mean, design-wise, it's one of the nicest looking laptops. I like it as far as design-wise. It's very light. Dell is known for these displays, which they call, oh man, I can't remember anything. Infinity displays, because the bezels are really, really thin. And this is, believe it or not, a 16 by 10 aspect ratio. It looks like a 16 by 9, but that's because the bezels are so small. But it only has 2 ports. It has that, and we're going to try to get focus here, Mr. iPhone. I've noticed that if I point to things, it focuses on a lot of the cameras that I've been using. Let's get in there. Right there. Come on, buddy. There's their Thunderbolt 4 port on one side. Thunderbolt 4.4 port on the other side. And then the bottom is branded with XPS. This is typical Dell XPS 13. So I like the design. I like the look of this. I like the portability. I like how light it is. I don't like the smaller 13-inch display. I believe this one does not have an OLED on it. OLED displays are nice. I would prefer the OLED display. Overall, it's a nice laptop. It's not perfect. I think maybe the 15-inch, 16-inch would have been nicer, but it's a decent laptop. I'm not saying that it's bad. So let's jump into one that I've already covered, but I haven't reviewed, and I'm going to talk about it today, but I'm not going to go into detail on it because you guys are probably looking for my video is on this Asus Zenbook S14, and so let me back up before I get too deep in here. Not only do I have a Qualcomm, the Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite laptops here, but I also have the Intel 200V series, which is this one here, and the AMD Ryzen AI9, which is the S16, Asus Zenbook S16. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about my experience with performance and battery life on the chips themselves. So just be aware of that. I can't say too much more about this Asus Zenbook S14. All I can say about this guy, which I will repost my videos when I can on this, is that it's a great performer. It looks great. It's nicer, I think, than... I'm going to be shuffling these guys around a bit here. Let me move this back over here, and we'll move this Dell over here. And you'll see the difference in size. Now you see the difference here. Look, this is the Dell XPS 13 versus the 14-inch S14 Asus Zenbook. So there's your size difference right there. It's substantial. That Dell is very, very slim because of those bezels. But I like the design of the Asus better. It's a little bit bigger, but it's about the same weight, if not a bit lighter. And I think you get more ports with this one here. HDMI, 2 Thunderbolts, headphone jack, and USB-A. And it's just a nice design. Also has an OLED display. I believe it's a 3K. So that is the Intel 200V series. All right. So then we move on to... I'm leaving my favorite 3 to the last here. So let's go with the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7X. This is another Qualcomm chipped Snapdragon X Elite laptop. This was the very first one I reviewed. No, excuse me. I reviewed the HP, which I don't recommend. But this Lenovo is probably one of the best Snapdragon X Elite laptops out there for the money. And it does get fingerprints, so just be aware that these blue finishes tend to get fingerprints, but they wipe off pretty easily. And here is this guy. And there are 2 USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports there. And we'll have to work on this focus here, Mr. iPhone 15. So, sorry about the focus if that's not working out where I'd like, and another USB-C Thunderbolt 4 port there. So, this one has a 3K OLED display, and it is one of the better displays on these laptops. As a matter of fact, out of my top 3 laptops in this batch, this one has probably the best display. So I really enjoyed this one a lot as far as display wise goes. Let me bring this brightness down, and that way we can show you. We'll open something up so we're just not on a reflective display. All right, here we are. So there it is right there. That is the, and it's on low brightness right now. So, but let's bring it back up. There we go. And this is one of the things I like about this display. It's a 3K OLED, and it is very bright. I really like this display a lot. So I would say the Yoga right now is probably my 3rd favorite. I think I have 5 laptops here. Yeah, 5. And out of this batch, this Yoga is by far my favorite laptop, 3rd favorite laptop, and the display is probably one of the best, if not the best, in this batch. There are a lot of laptops to be looked at yet, and this is just one of them. And I'm trying to get that in frame for you. Speakers here, and just a great overall laptop. The only thing I didn't like about this Yoga so much was this diving board trackpad. I mean, it works fine. It's just, you can hear that click. I don't like that, the click on this one. It's not my favorite. And it works fine up to about here. And that's why I don't like diving board trackpads, because I want to be able to be up here to use my trackpad if I want to click it all over. And with these style trackpads, it's harder to do that. So there's that. So this is third place in terms of the laptops I like aesthetically and hardware-wise. And we'll talk about chips in a little bit here. But so we're talking right now, Dell is my least favorite. Okay, so I'm sorry, Dell. I love you guys, but the Dell XPS 13 with the Snapdragon X Elite is my least favorite of this new generation of chipsets, laptops that I've used. That's my least favorite. I can't talk too much about this one right now, or its performance, but let's just say it's good. And I'm not going to grade this one yet, other than to say that the hardware is just fantastic. And I'll talk more about hardware because the S16, which is the Asus Zenbook S14, is pretty much the same laptop as this. The only difference is this one, it has the Intel 200V series in it, and the S16 has the AMD Ryzen AI 9 in it. So this is my third favorite. Okay, like I just said, the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7X. And I think this is probably the best bang for your buck for most people. I think if you're looking for a new laptop and you want the new Qualcomms or new AMDs or the new Intels that are better performers and better in battery life, this Lenovo is probably your, if you're a PC user and you've always been a PC user, this is probably your best bet, and this is going to be the most bang for your buck. Second place goes to the AMD Ryzen, and this was close, guys. This was a really hard decision for me because I really gave this laptop a great review, and I love it. What I love so much about this laptop is its unique design. That design is fantastic, just like the S14 with the Intel chip. This has more ports. Has a full-size SD card on the other side here. That's fantastic. So overall, just a really nice design, clean, beautiful. Keyboard is awesome. Display is awesome. My only issue with this one was, let's see, did I power it down? My only issue with this one was also the trackpad. Let's bring that back here a little bit. So this trackpad, it works fine. It's better than the which one was it? The Yoga. It's better. It's a better trackpad than the Yoga. It has a better click response to it, and I can work it. I can work the further up on the trackpad, and the trackpad's bigger. And the overall design is nice. Keyboard's nice. Yoga's keyboard's awesome too. So this is my second favorite, and this display is also really nice. It's not as bright as the Yoga, but it's almost there. I give the edge to the Yoga, and the Yoga I think might be a little bit cheaper than this configuration here. So this is the Asus Zenbook S16. This is my second favorite of the AMD, Qualcomm's, and Intel new chips that are out, and I would recommend this one highly. Especially, I mean, it's very thin and it's fairly light for a 16-inch laptop. Very portable. I enjoyed it very much. So, but all that said, we get into the last one I just posted the review on, and we'll talk about this here, the Microsoft Surface Laptop 7. So there it is here. This is absolutely, it was a hard decision for me to pick one. I didn't, wasn't going to make this video. I don't usually make these types of videos, but I'm trying to make more video content. So here we are. I decided that this is, they call these, people are looking for the MacBook killer, right? So that Asus Zenbook S16 or the Lenovo Yoga, those are great choices for people that are on Windows machines. But if you're a MacBook user or have been a MacBook user and you want to switch over to Windows, this is the guy right here. I mean, this is going to give you everything that you are used to in a Mac in a Windows PC. The design is fantastic. The unibody aluminum construction, it's just familiar. I mean, it looks like a MacBook. There's no denying that. Has two Thunderbolt 4s and a USB-A and a headphone jack on one side. Has a MagSafe charging on the other. It's not called MagSafe, but it's pretty much the same thing. Has a micro SD card slot. I don't like that. I wish they would have had a full-size SD card here. Full-size SD card and then another USB-C or Thunderbolt 4 port here would have been great. But the design is fantastic, and it's just one of the best laptops on the market. The display is my only complaint, really, on this laptop. And it's not that it's a bad display. It's just not OLED. It's a very pretty display. HDR. It's very bright. The only thing I don't like about it is it's very reflective. It's way more reflective than the other laptops. And but I forgive it, and I'm giving this one my number one pick, based on the design. I'm basing all these reviews on looking for a replacement for the MacBook Pro that I got rid of, and this fits all the boxes, almost all the boxes that I want in a MacBook replacement. The display is just as nice as a MacBook. It's just not as nice as the Yoga, and it's not as nice as the Zenbook, but it's just as nice as a MacBook Air. Not as nice as a MacBook Pros, but still, it's passable. I can forgive this display because of this trackpad. This is a haptic trackpad. Doesn't have that same issue where I have to click down here in order to use it because it's a diving board. I can click up here and it works just fine. Great trackpad. I was initially worried that this trackpad would have issues because it's a little bit smaller than a MacBook's, but the size of it is just fine. It worked out just fine. Keyboard's great. It's amazing. This is the Microsoft exclusive machine. This one has 64 gigs of RAM, has one of the top end Snapdragon X Elite chips in it. So the performance is spot on. This is a fantastic performing machine and does a great job. The IR camera up here is the best out of all these laptops that I've used. This one, and you saw it opened up. The other ones didn't open up. I had to put my passcode in there. They don't always grab you. This one has no issue grabbing you, and it'll open up like that. So that IR camera works really well. So out of these 5 laptops, this one is the MacBook killer. I know that's a kind of hyperbolic to say. It's not, it's just a fun thing to say. It's not killing the MacBook. It's not going to, it's not. For those who want to switch to Windows and really like the aesthetic, hardware, and usability of a MacBook, this is the closest you're going to get. Combine the hardware on this laptop and the hardware experience with the software and the Snapdragon X Elite inside, and you are getting phenomenal performance. I had no issues with performance as far as video goes, photo editing, and that's just for my use case. I'm a very light photo and video editor. I don't do cinematic stuff. I don't do that type of stuff. It's just these YouTube videos, my podcasts, and images and things for the website. But I had no issues with it. Battery life, I wanted, let's see here, I can't remember, 14, 15 hours I think I had on battery life. Let me get in there. I'm scrolling through. I was going to go through each review with you guys, but I don't think I'm going to do that. That would take way too much time. Yeah, about 16 hours tops on this laptop. But that is with light usage. It's not heavy video editing and stuff. That will drain your laptop. As far as performance goes, of the 3 chips that I've used, the Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite, the AMD Ryzen AI 9, and the Intel 200V. I can't say much about the 200V, but what I am going to say is that out of the 3, they are neck and neck. It is a very close race between these 3 chipsets. I will say that if you're looking for you want to ensure that your x86 apps are going to work, then you need to pick up an AMD or an Intel machine. For most users, the Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite is going to be just fine. They'll use I think it's called Prism as the emulator, so you'll be able to emulate x86 apps. Most of your apps are going to run just fine on these X Elite machines. If I had to pick a chipset that's my favorite, I'm going to go right now with Snapdragon X Elite as my number 1 pick, the Intel 200V as my second, and AMD as the third. And that's just being forced to pick. To be honest with you, all 3 chipsets are pretty competitive in terms of performance and in terms of battery life. So I don't think that there's any issue in picking any of these 3 chipsets. It's all going to come down to design, I think, for most people. Design of the laptop and how much the laptops are costing. I don't know about you, but for me, hardware is a big deal. If you don't have nice hardware, you can have the fastest chips and the fastest internals, but if I can't use a trackpad properly, if I can't type properly, if I don't have a nice display to use, that's half the experience. So to me, this is the winner. The Microsoft Surface Laptop 7 is the winner out of the 5 laptops I have here. And again, that doesn't make these laptops bad. These are all excellent laptops, but for my use case, for what I want in a machine, this is the one. And I feel comfortable in saying I wholeheartedly endorse this Microsoft Surface Laptop 7 as a must-buy for just about anybody. And you can get this starting at $12.99, I think. This one's the expensive one. This is the $2,500 one. $2,500 for this configuration, and it's special order on Microsoft. But the entry-level ones are just as good. And you can get a smaller version, a 13-inch version for $9.99. So if you want to save more money, there it is. I'll link that down below. But anyway, that was it, guys. I just wanted to do this quick video and just kind of give you an overview of these laptops that I've been reviewing the past couple of months, and which ones I've enjoyed. And really, that guy right there, the Microsoft Surface Laptop 7, that's the winner right there. Don't get me wrong about this Dell, please. Dell, don't get mad at me, Dell. This is a nice laptop, and if this is something you're looking for, this is really great for people who want a small footprint and very, it's super portable. I mean, it's tablet-like. It's very small. So there's nothing wrong with this laptop. It's a good laptop. It's just not my favorite. This guy right here is I think probably the best bang for your buck. Even though the Microsoft is nicer in a lot of ways, this Lenovo I think gives you a lot of value for what you have underneath the hood. So totally worth it in my opinion. A lot of my decisions were based on aesthetics because I'm an aesthetics type of guy, and I really like the way this laptop, like this S16 from Zenbook S16 from Asus, looks. It's a very, very beautiful laptop, and I like this one even though it costs more, and it might be a little bit not as good and not as good as value as this. I prefer this because of the aesthetics. So if you're looking, and the trackpad is better on this one. If you're looking for a little bit more value, then the Lenovo is your go. But and then there's the S14 Zenbook, which I can't talk too much more about. I'll repost my videos on this particular laptop when the time is right. And but this is also a nice laptop, and it's basically the same as that S16. It's just smaller and has the Intel chip inside of it instead. So, all right, guys, that's it. Quick video. Just wanted to go over this, and I will link all of the laptop reviews that I've done out of this batch. I will link them all below. You can read at your leisure, and that's it. Appreciate you guys. I appreciate you watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you're join our locals community. Everything will be linked down below. And make sure you're subscribed to us on Rumble, and help us grow our channels and help us to continue to grow all of these channels and all that we're doing for TECHAERIS.com. Visit the site. Appreciate your support, and we will talk to you on the other side.